Joyce, she got a good grammar. She was in private schools, so her grammar is accurate. You know what I'm saying?
Don't do me.
I got an accent. You know what I'm saying?
Don't you do that?
And we niggas and shit, so we not like grammatically. We not. Is there a word called grammatically? See, my point.
Grammatically, nigga. Grammatically.
My point.
What did you just say? Grammatically.
My point.
You just made a whole new word.
My point. You see that?
I am the grammar mayor.
I like the way you hold the mic.
Oh.
Listen, y'all need to behave. We have a guest. We are officially back.
Yes.
Welcome back to Culture Links.
That's the best
And
way to
we
introduce
are
her.
officially back with Miss Peru. Hey. How you doing? She's so cute.
I know. I just saw a piercing.
So cute. And the thing is, I'm usually the small one.
Oh, that's what's up. You got something to say as well? He was in one. Damn. Yeah, she likes stuff like that.
I do.
Yeah.
Do you have your nipples pierced too?
I'm not telling.
How many piercings you got?
I want to find out when it's over.
Huh?
A lot.
A lot?
Oh,
shit.
It goes hand in hand with the tattoo, so it's kind of like you lose track at some point.
So where are you tattooed at? Everywhere?
I have a bodysuit, so it goes from here till the very top of my thigh and all the way around.
Yes. So question. So, I'm going to ask a pussy question and all that good stuff, right? What's so funny?
Nothing. I'm here for it.
So you got your pussy tattooed?
I'm not telling.
I have mine tattooed.
Huh? You got your pussy tattooed? How did that go as far as a tattoo session?
I mean, like if you got your arm tattooed, the fuck you mean?
So you got tattooed by a dude, just sit and tattoo your pussy? And
yes, like, hey. Yep. So tomorrow I'm going to get some eggs from the grocery store.
Hey, man, I don't know if I can do that.
No.
So while he was tattooing, you wouldn't get like, most of you wasn't trying to get like wet, like you didn't feel any type of, like.
Look, y'all with you, Miss Peru. I'm like, let me get some water. Let them finish
it wasn't
this discussion.
my type, I guess. So he wasn't my type.
It wasn't your type?
He wasn't my type.
But what if you was his type?
All right, Prez.
I mean, if I
Prez.
was
No, y'all can talk over the air. We got to get to Miss Peru.
She said she about his life.
She
got
not here
tattoos. She got piercings. She got you don't know her? Where you know her from?
Look, we just vibed. You didn't even notice it. We just vibed and you didn't even notice because you in the pussy conversation. She's not here for it, man.
I want to get it out of the way. I want to know.
No. All right, Miss Peru. So you are aerialist. I've been struggling with that word all week. I'm like, yeah, come be like she aerialist.
What is aerialist? What is that?
So an aerialist is basically somebody that dances in the air. So I do acrobatics in the air.
So how did you get into it? Because this is like a really different. Is it like a sport? Is it categorized as a sport?
It is. So
like
it's like it's a circus art. And
Right.
I always used to be fascinated with circus art. So I was like, okay, well, Mom, I want to do this. And then my mom was like, well, no, you need to go to school. So I'm like, okay, I go to school. So now I'm grown and now I'm doing it.
So how did you really get into it? Have you always been flexible? Did you start off like as a stripper, a dancer? Like how did that?
I did ballet when I was like really young.
Okay.
And then I stopped because my joints went bad. And at a young age, it's really hard on your joints and everything. However, I started pole dancing and teaching and performing with different artists. So after a while, I went from pole to aerial because I wanted to do something different. So I'm like, okay, I perform on the pole, I'm great at it. Let me do something different.
Right.
So then I taught myself how to do the ribbons and the hoop.
Okay. So you're in the ribbons as well. So only at Bliss are you in the hoop, or you do the ribbons as well?
I do the ribbons at Bliss every now and then. I don't do it there a lot because my stage is really short.
Okay.
And then the drag of my ribbons will fall on the floor.
Okay. And then you got people.
And then I might have people. Most people get out the way, but some might not. So it's always kind of like if it's really packed, I don't like to use the ribbons because I don't want people stepping on them on accident, not paying attention, and then I'm tangled. Somebody step on it, and I'm like
up in the air, just dangling. Like, yo, can you get off of my my ribbon?
Right.
That is what's up. So you have to have a lot of upper body strength.
Yes. So it's a lot of core strength. It's a lot of strength within your arms, your legs. It's kind of like a whole body kind of thing.
And how long you been doing this?
I started pole probably close to 10 years ago.
Damn.
And I've been doing aerial arts for probably 8 years.
Wow.
Have you ever thought about joining the circus?
I'm too old to join the circus.
You look like a baby girl. What you mean?
No, I'm not a baby anymore. Thank God I don't look my age.
No, you look good.
But most people join the circus as they're younger.
Okay.
And then I'm strong. A lot of my flexibility is forced, so I'm not like super bendy.
Okay.
So, you know.
So how did the job go when you got into Bliss as far as you dancing in the circle? How did that go? Is you apply for a circle? How did that go? How do you go about getting that position? Did you create that position? Because again, your position is a bit unique.
I created everything I did for myself. So I think my first gig was at MIA Lounge years ago. I was on DuPont Circle.
Uh-huh.
So the owner actually saw me perform at another nightclub and was like, "Oh, the clubs in Miami have pole dancers, and I want a pole dancer at my club in DC that just comes kind of like a go-go dancer, but she will be in the air on the pole."
Right.
So he was like, "Well, how much do you want for, you just to come on a regular basis every night I'm open? I want you to work here. We're going to install the pole. You're going to make sure it's set up right." And that was that. So that was my first, nightclub gig, I guess. And after that, I started at Capital, and then I was just everywhere.
Right. Where did you migrate from? You see, you came. Where you come from?
I came here from Germany.
Germany.
I'm born in Peru, but I was adopted. Okay. So I moved here from Germany.
Oh, damn.
Mm-hmm.
How was that experience?
It was very different.
In the sense of
Germany being extremely not as fast moving and not as violent as Baltimore is.
Okay.
So I moved from Germany to Baltimore, and then I was like, wow, it's very different. Mm-hmm. But I like it though. It was definitely an experience.
How old were you when you made that move?
23.
Was it just like, I'm leaving Germany, I need to do something different?
I always kind of like to move around, even back in Germany. So I just wanted to experience something new. Mm-hmm. And so I just packed my bags one day and left.
How'd your parents feel about that? Are they still in Germany?
Yes.
Okay.
They are. So I think my mom kind of took it harder than my dad because she has, she's a mom, so she don't like letting go. And she's like, oh, my baby's going all the way over there, and she's going to be so far, and nobody is really going to be there for her. So she just, being a mom, worrying. And my dad was like, if that's what you want to do it. And, we always here. You can always come back. We always come to see you, and that kind of thing. So
it was good. They were supportive in a sense.
Yeah,
overall.
They still are. So.
And excuse my memory, but what motivated the move?
I just wanted to see something new.
Why you didn't go to Japan?
Because I don't speak the language.
But you get my point though. Why did stay? Well, you have so many options, in Germany.
I have a lot of friends that were in the military back then and were in the army. So it was just something about America that just always kind of fascinated me, and I just always wanted to see it. Okay. It wasn't even for no particular reason. Okay. I always liked Australia too, but at that moment in my life, it was just like, you know what? I'm gonna just do America. That's just what I'm gonna do.
I hear the accent, I hear it.
Yeah,
it's so clear.
You can't identify it though. It's just so like
sometimes it come out and then sometimes it don't. Yeah. It's kind of off sometimes.
So what motivates the art, the tattoo art?
My tattoos are all kind of like a part of my life story. I'm a very creative person, so it's just kind of like a different art form to express myself, I guess.
What other art are you involved with aside from dancing and tattooing and piercing? You say you're a very arty person, so what other art are you?
I do nails. I do nails.
I was looking at your nails.
Thank you.
You did those?
Yeah.
Oh,
really?
I like them. Oh yes, that's me. I like that.
So it's just like a different form of me, expressing myself. I guess I like to do it.
Do you paint?
Yeah, I get paid.
No, I'm saying, do you paint? Do you?
Do I paint? Mm-hmm. It's funny. I can really paint. If I get really upset every now and then, I might have a good night, and then it just happens, and I draw something, and it's cool, but I wouldn't necessarily say I can paint.
Okay.
It just is like a spur of the moment thing.
So you tattooing, dancing, and then you said painting. Is that the only art you involved with? Mm-hmm. Or you have a passion for?
Yes, like dancing is probably like my biggest passion. It's different. Certain events I do, like Bliss is something I do every week. But if, I did different kind of musicals, I got to work with different kind of artists, go to the studio with them, have them, inspire them to write a song, to create something, then being on the stage performing it with them. Like, it's just a whole different feel.
Who have you worked with?
Well, we got a major artist at Bliss every other week, so I did a lot of stuff for them. Nokio from Drew Hill is a very good friend of mine, so a lot of my inspiration comes from him.
So are you still Baltimore based?
Yes.
Or you still live in Baltimore?
I still live in Baltimore. I'm back and forth from Baltimore to DC almost on like a daily basis though.
Oh wow.
So I come back and forth all the time. Then I travel depending on where I have shows at and where I get booked for.
So where do you travel on a regular base?
Where has your talent taken you?
It has me taken to a lot of different places, to a lot of unique places. One of my first out-of-town places, I got booked to go to the legendary Dobbs in Philly.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it was just like this little Irish pub. They had a event for, women empowering. Okay. So I came and I pole danced at their event, which was cool because it just was a different vibe and a different crowd. I've been to Texas, I've been to LA, I've been to New York, I've been to Atlanta.
Wow.
I've been a lot of different places.
Wow.
Now, do you just... How does that work? Like, you know how, so if you're a musician, you pack your guitar and you keep going. So, do you, have your pole, not your pole, your hoop and your ribbons just, together? But how does that, if you go to a venue, how do you set that up?
So,
what's that process?
The venue might have something for me to hang from. So, either they're selling, the ceiling in your studio. If you move the little square to the side, it will be a rafter underneath.
Oh.
So I can hang from the rafter, or I have a portable rig, which is it looks like a giant A-frame.
Okay.
So it stands at 11 feet tall, and I can set it up, and I can hang from that.
So do you, just hang out at your house?
I do hang out at my house.
You got it?
You so corny, bro.
I do hang out at my house. If you ever looked on my Instagram.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
She laughed the hat off.
You're welcome.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry.
I definitely hang out at my house. So my A-frame is set up in my living room most of the time, and I come home from work and I swing around.
Just swing around.
I swing around with my snake. We get creative.
Oh,
Snake.
I have 2.
Oh.
Why snake? You're very adventurous, but what the?
I have
You
2
clever
dogs.
Lord,
I have
dogs,
2
snakes.
snakes. I do it all. I got it all. I like animals. So
Do you like skydiving as well?
I really want to. I haven't been yet, but I definitely want to do
You're
it.
definitely crazy.
But I wanna skydive with my ribbons though, or parachute jump and hang off somebody.
Oh yeah.
And it'll just be so dope.
That's very creative, but you're so crazy. I wouldn't.
But I still have a parachute, so either way, I'm gonna be fine.
I want to skydive.
I get you. I would never skydive.
This
You can't pay me to
seems so
skydive.
It's kind of like the same as in the ribbons. Like if I do, I don't
You
really.
know what? Yeah, you're right.
It's like
Yeah,
the
you think
same. I
about it,
climb
yeah.
all the way up top, I tangle up, and then I just let go and I unravel.
So
and
you
fall
obviously
and
cannot be afraid of heights, doing what you do.
I'm not.
So your first time doing it, your very, very, very first time, how was that experience? Doing the aerialist. Is that right? That's it, right?
Aerial arts. So aerial ribbons and then aerial hoop. So the first experience.
No, I'm not gonna try.
You're not gonna try. Don't worry about it. Just say aerial art.
The first experience in the ribbon was funny because I felt like since I was really strong already, it was gonna be very easy. Coming to find out, it was not. So it took me a while to even climb it because it's almost like a bungee cord.
Okay.
So as you try to climb it keep on stretching. So
right.
You need the whole technique to actually get up there. So once I got up, I'm like, okay, I'm tired. I need to come back down.
Do you teach that? No bullshit. Can I just come over one day and
be?
I just
don't
really
teach.
No, she not.
I just want to get
She don't have insurance, Joy.
I just want to go around.
You don't have insurance. If you get fucked up, she would sue you.
Because I've gone to the circus or whatever, and like it just seems so easy. But I know because you gotta go here, then you gotta do something with your hands, and you gotta go here.
Yeah.
Like oh my god,
it's beautiful. It definitely requires a lot of training, strength training. So outside the aerial stuff, I do back in the day more than now, but I used to work out twice a day.
Okay.
And just be in the gym and lift weights and condition and strengthen my body. So it definitely helps a lot. And I don't teach, but a lot of regular pole dance studios or gyms started teaching like aerial yoga, which is nice to do because it helps you build the strength without having to hold all your weight at once, because you get something like instead of having 2 ribbons, you got 1, but it's like a hand mat, so you can just lay in it.
Okay.
And they teach you how to stretch and, strengthen your muscles that way, so then once you want to transition to actually doing the ribbons, it'll probably be a little bit easier.
Okay.
You got like a 12-pack, don't you?
No, not no more.
So what's your goal as what are we working on right now? Is there anything that intrigues you that you want to do as far as like I'm not gonna pronounce that name. I'm just gonna say dance.
Say aerial
I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna know
because it's not dance.
I'm just gonna say dance, okay? And she knows it. You know what I'm saying? That's my disclaimer. So, is there anything you that intrigues you right now that you want to do in the near future?
I mean,
what are you working on
now? I want to do some more nonprofit events for sure for kids with autism, for like some breast cancer awareness stuff. I definitely want to perform some more, try to work with some more people in the industry. Chris Brown had all these really amazing aerialists on tour with him. So, stuff like that.
And when you're not dancing, what do you do?
Probably work out or sleep or train my dogs. But
Train your dog. What kind of dog you got?
I got a Dogo Argentino. He's a retired Schutzhund, so he's a trained protection dog. And I have a pit bull mixed with Presa Canario.
So is it safe to say you're an animal lover?
Yes.
Why you chose dog? Well, you got a snake, so I can't even say you chose dog as your pet. What's up with the snake?
Are you scared of snakes, Prez?
I'm not scared of snakes.
Yes, you
I had a
are.
snake.
I think he is.
I had a snake at one point in my life. I was like 14, and it attacked me. And ever since then,
A garden snake.
It probably was hungry.
Obviously,
I mean, it probably was hungry.
that should attack me. Real talk. I'm serious.
Or you smelled like something that triggered his.
What you
his
smell
instinct.
like?
It attacked me. And ever since I'm like, man, I'm cool. I don't want no snake. Yeah.
I always used to like reptiles since my mom is terrified of snakes. It was just always like a no, you cannot have a snake. I'm like, but Mom, why not? She was like, no, you just can't have it. So I'm like, okay. When I get old, then I move out.
So you became an aerialist and you got a snake.
And I got the dog. Yep.
So are you the person we walk down in the summertime to Annapolis about the boardwalk and see you walking with your snake like, oh, I got a snake? Are you that kind of individual, or you keep it at home?
I bring her out sometimes, but I don't like to bring either one of my snakes in just any kind of environment because a lot of people have a phobia.
Oh.
So we don't want to scare anybody. Or we don't want nobody to be rude to us.
Usually, like, I see people in, like, Miami
Oh,
always
yeah,
walking with
definitely,
their snakes and stuff.
definitely.
People want to take pictures. They want to
They
so I don't
do.
usually.
I feel like it's more common down there. Like, even if you go to the Vegas Strip, you run
True.
across a lot of people with their
You're
snakes.
right.
So, but kind of like if I do it in Baltimore, then somebody
you
might
down
say,
there by the
It's a
monument.
different vibe.
oh my God, she got
Right,
a snake.
yeah,
It's a different
yeah.
vibe in Miami, and then of
Right.
course in Vegas, because it's a lot of shows.
And that's a lot.
and all
The
that
weather
stuff.
conditions down there are better too.
Right.
So they tropical animals.
Right.
So if it's not like 80 or 90 degrees, then I don't really bring her out like that.
Okay.
So what's the what I was saying? So what's the ideal work schedule for how often do you work in these spots? Where can people come see you and experience what you do?
People can see me on a regular basis at Bliss. It's probably best to just follow my Instagram.
Okay,
Miss Peru Show. Just to keep up. Bliss is my regular gig in the week. I'm there every Saturday unless I'm booked for something else. Mm-hmm. But for the last 3 years, I've been there every Saturday.
Oh wow! I mean, I gotta come see you.
Yes.
So do you do the bodyguards escort you to your place, or like before the crowd come in, are you already just up there hanging
I'm
out?
already kind of set up.
Oh, they coming in?
The stage at Bliss, my changing room, I guess, is in the back area. So it's a little walkway from the back area to the stage, and then comes the crowd. So I don't have to go through the crowd. But if I had to go to the crowd, then I have security. And then there's E that helps me with my setup.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, just so y'all know who are listening about Bliss, he's a big motherfucker. So. You know what I'm saying? You better walk through a park truck. It's just FYI. So don't go to Bliss talking about I'm going to see Miss Peru and shit. You know what I'm saying? He will fuck you up. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Have you ever gotten hurt while doing this?
I'm a knock on this wood. I have not.
Okay.
I probably pull something every now and then, or I might, but I never fell out of my ribbons. I never fell out of my hoop.
Thank God.
So I never really fell off the pole.
Okay.
So thank God I never had like a real tragic work experience to where I got hurt. I don't drink when I perform, or I don't drink period for that matter, but so I think it probably helps.
Yeah, because I was going to say, you don't really want to be under any type of influences doing that, because you have to really have full control of your whole entire body.
You do.
Right.
A lot of people probably do, though. You know, people like to drink and like take off their edge. I probably get nervous. I did it one time. I had a little drink before I performed, and it made me so sick and so drowsy, and I kind of felt like my coordination was off, so that was it. I'm just like, I
Don't
can't.
do that.
Yeah, but you're very, very unique and very special. You're the first person to come on the show with this type of
Art, aerialist.
There you go. I'm not trying to say teamwork and dream work.
Art.
You're very unique. I've never met anyone like you. I've probably seen your art on TV and in the clubs and stuff like that, but I never actually met a person. Like met someone in person that does this, and it's a very unique feel. Do you feel like you have any? Who's your not competition, but who do you idolize in your field?
When I first started pole dancing, it's so many great pole dancers out there. So pole dancing, a lot of people confuse it with the strip club, and it's really not quite the same. So they have championships, they have world championships.
For pole
dancing is actually
really?
a super serious sport. It is crazy what these girls are doing. Like, you need to just like Google it someday and just look up pole dance championship.
Really?
And they have it for women, they have it for men, they have it for doubles, they have aerial championships.
So you want to tell me we can legally pimp like females to go?
It's not that. It's like a super serious sport.
I get you.
Yeah, so
I get you, but I don't know if it was legit like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But as far as compensation, is it a good field? Would you advise someone to get in your field?
I think
career path?
it just really depends on what you want to make it. You know what I mean? What kind of path you're trying to take. If somebody inspires to be, grown up, wanting to go to Cirque du Soleil and really do it big, if you are gifted and talented enough to actually make the cut, then that's something amazing that you can do.
You do this full time?
Yes.
Okay.
I do. I've been doing it full time for the last 10 years.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
That means I gotta come see you.
So that means like you
gotta come
really
see you.
have to like hustle to like kind of get your name out there, or really most of your gigs are like word of mouth?
It's kind of it's a little bit of both. It's kind of like once somebody's seen you, it's like, oh my God, I want it for my wedding, I want it for my birthday party, I want it for my bike event, I want it for whatever. So I want you to come work at my club. How much we gotta pay you to do this and that show? So it's just kind of like, I think any other artist that, people just see something they like and then they want to, be a part of it or want to have it at their event.
How long are your sets? Like, do you do sets, or are you just like up there? Like, okay, so we're using, Bliss for your full time right now at Bliss. When you're up there, are you up there from open to closing, or it's just like a set?
So I start usually at like 12:30, maybe 1 o'clock, depending whenever our main room opens.
Okay.
Because, Bliss is big, so we get 3 rooms whenever the main room opens. And the crowd comes in, I start performing. And then I probably perform for a good 2 hours, depending on when the artist gets there, how soon the artist gets to performance, so I can, make sure I clear the stage for them, so my hoop and everything be okay.
Yeah, we definitely coming to see you. Seriously.
Good.
Yeah, we definitely coming to see you. Well, thank you so much.
That's a long time.
That
Yeah.
is. I was just
I
thinking
don't dance
that.
all the way through though, so
So you sometimes
yeah,
you just be up there like,
I do sets. So my longest sets probably be 20 minutes, depending if I do a different kind of event.
okay.
Then my sets might be a little bit longer, but at Bliss I usually, do a few songs, take a little break, do a few more songs.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
do like little sets.
Thank you, Miss for Peru
And you
for
are
coming
very
through.
unique.
Yes.
Like, seriously.
And she's so cute.
Yeah, she is. We're gonna let you pass. It's a tradition here. Every female that comes through here, Joy get to feel their butt. But we're gonna let you pass.
I don't have a butt.
We don't know.
I don't have one.
We don't know.
I got muscles.
We don't know.
I keep hearing the German when you say one, it's like one.
Because we pronounce our V's like, our W's like V's almost. So I can't say water. I'm having difficulties. Yes, it's a struggle.
It's all good, girl. We still understand,
It's
girl.
the foreign struggle.
I'm Jamaican. I always tell them, they're like, "That's how you say that." I'm like, "You understand what I'm saying?" They're like, yeah. I'm like, "Okay, then we good." So I'm serious. They're serious. No, but thank you so much for coming through.
you
We
guys for
appreciate you,
having me.
and we will be visiting you soon.
And tell,
Especially,
Yes.
and
I'm
tell the
serious.
listeners where they can find you or book
So,
you.
Bliss Nightclub is where I'm at every Saturday. I also will be performing at Club Babylon or the Hookah Lounge Babylon for Thanksgiving night, actually. So that's another venue.
Which
Which location? I was
It's going to be the location she told me. I'm sorry. I've never been there. Off Jefferson Street, I believe.
Jefferson Davis Highway.
It's
That's
gonna
Arlington?
be the Falls Church, but it's
Okay.
kind of like on the border.
Okay, yeah.
I think she said, yeah. So that's where I will be at Thanksgiving night.
Okay.
And
Give
other
them your
than that,
Instagram information.
it's at
Facebook.
Miss Peru Show. I'm not on Facebook. I'm on Twitter, but I don't ever tweet, so Instagram
It's the best way to
is the
connect
best
with
way. For bookings, you can hit missperushow@gmail.com. Or you can slide in the DM, but for business inquiries only.
Yeah.
Because
It's some creeps out there.
it's horrible.
I know it is. They see what you doing that little hoop. They like, oh yeah, I'm
Yeah, she's
sliding
flexible.
in.
She's flexible. Yo, what's poppin'?
Ice skating in them.
How you doing?
Thank you so much, Miss Peru. We
Thank you
appreciate
guys for
Yeah,
having
thank you,
me.
Miss Peru.
Thank you.